How's it going, guys? Chris back here again with another Historic Brawl video. Now, a couple weeks ago? Might have been a couple days ago. I don't remember exactly. But we played Mkeltar again. And I mentioned that there was a Bat Golem deck. And then somebody in the comments mentioned that they would like to see a version of that Bat Golem deck. So, here we are. We have Vexyr. I'm actually really excited about this because the dude's cool. It's one of the unfortunate things is that there's not a lot of Seek cards to work with, but there's still plenty of really cool stuff to do with him. Because he is a Golem Lord, right? Like, he gives him Vigilance. That's decent. But the package that I have ended up settling on is a Reflections of Littjara deck. So the ideal is that you get the best token doublers. You cast a golem into them with Reflections of Littjara, and that will turn your one golem into two golems. And then if you have a Monodronek on the battlefield, you're going to get three golems. And then if you have parallel lives, you keep doubling, right? And it just gets out of control. And our backup package is Displacer, right? Because a lot of the golem cards, particularly in white, are creature X, and at the battlefield, create a 3/3 golem. Golems you control have X, right? Like, that's the general format for those cards. Now we have a Cavalier of Dawn, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool. Hey, there's one of the ones I was thinking of. Let's get down to Blade Splicer. Our opponent is a Neheb deck, which is kind of cool. I always like me some Minotaurs. And Neheb, you know, he used to be, well, his non-eternal version was the default Minotaur tribal for a while, right? And then Sethron came along, and he is kind of just better for the job. Opponent? You're gonna sacrifice your Glistering Horde for, yeah, I guess they are gonna sacrifice the Glistering Horde for that, but we still get the Golem. Doesn't mean that Displacer Kitten doesn't have a job, right? But I guess that's fine. Like, we don't want to overwork the kitty. We'll get our commander out because he's just kind of good against mono red, right? Vigilance is not a is not known as an extremely powerful ability, but yeah, I'll cycle it away because I don't really need any lands at the moment. No artifacts or enchantments, right? Nope. Just creatures and lands. An instance. We are out aggroing the mono red deck. Very proud. We did lose our only golem, which is kind of sad, but we have Cavalier of Dawn to back up the any possible threats. I guess I get green. That'll get me up to 8. So we're going to deal Chandra some damage. Hopefully kill her. Then we Momentous Fall our commander to blink Cavalier, kill Kranko. Have a fun time? That seems like the plan. About to say, when I was replying to the request for this, I said that I'd get to it in a couple of days. And after that, I started building the deck, right? And I think part of the reason why we're just jumping into the matches is because I had a pretty sick game with it. And I was like, okay, if it's actually functional, we'll try doing a recording session and see how that goes. Not bad. So, Snake Veil is in here to trigger our secondary token makers, which are Orvar, the All-Form, and Vesuvian Duplicity. So they turn our creatures into tokens, and then our token doublers double up our tokens, right? Like, that's the plan. Snake Scale and similar 1-mana, get hexproof, indestructible type effects are also just really good with a Displacer Kitten, right? Like, that's a synergy piece. But they're also really good with one of the weirder golems on MTGO, or MTGA, which is, what is it called? Precursor Golem. I think that's what it's called. But to say, the really cool game I had during my playtesting period was I had a monodronic on the battlefield, Reflections of Littjara. So we made a copy of Precursor Golem on the stack, and then we made like 8 or 9 3/3 golems, and our opponent tried to remove the golems by targeting one of them, and we Tamiyo safekeeping all of the golems, so they were completely safe. It was insanely fun. I greatly enjoyed it. There's the land. I like the land. That land will get me to Reflections and Mouth. Mouth is a card I slept on for a long time, but I'm starting to rate it, man. I am starting to rate it. Simply because its power requirement isn't that bad, right? Like, it isn't that bad. I should have played Sun Petal Grove on turn 2, but then it would have entered tapped anyways, right? So I guess it doesn't matter. I thought it was 5 brain, but nope. We're getting closer to 5 brain. I think we Wrath when Tamiyo comes down next turn. That makes the most immediate sense. Where is Tamiyo? She's supposed to come down. It's only 4 mana. You need 5. Monodronic. This is bad. I guess Monodronic is just a sacrifice, right? I was thinking that maybe I could delay another turn, get some creatures on the board somehow, and keep them alive. I still could, I guess. Right, because this is valid. But giving them a turn is just rough. But I guess they could just recast their commander anyways, right? And we are up against Simic, so bounce is definitely a possibility. So we wait until at least the attack step because that's painful. So with Wrath or Bust now, this is our game 2, right? Yeah, we're dead. Never mind. Yeah, we won game 1. We lost game 2. We're on to game 3. It's only 11 minutes, which is frankly mind-boggling. The deck is fun, right? Like it's a jigsaw puzzle deck where you're trying to assemble a combination of pieces that achieves whatever goal you're going for. And in our case, it's turn golem into token, double golem tokens. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Now, one of the golems that I did not have access to that should be in the deck is probably a Sundering Titan, because it's just a powerful card. Like, absurdly powerful card. And it's mythic on Arena, right? So it's, I don't know if it was, because I think it was printed before the mythic system came around, so it probably would have been mythic, but I'm not going to control one of those anytime soon, so we'll start with that. Let's go with a 1, 2, 3 for 2. Pretty good odds, actually. Against Cranko. Who is not the boy. Mountain. Wow. We are in trouble. Gain some life, blink some damage. That's not what I want to see. I want another land, please. Vec, you're up at the blocker. Do me proud, boy. So our opponent might just scoop when the Wrath happens. Because they're not getting to Muxus anytime soon. Well, that's a good one. Farewell, sweet commander. I'll take a 5 for 1 any day. Or 5 for 2. It's good enough. Muxus is a long way away. We got a wonder. So this is exists in the deck to give my Golem flying. I don't know why that's important, but it is. Honestly, one of the most disgusting things in Historic Brawl at the moment is Mirari's Wake and an Exclamation. Like, that stuff is always just disgusting. Squid Nexus? Commander? Golem, I guess? Begin the killing? Like, we're out of cards too, but we have a viable game. Yeah, okay, opponent. I gotcha. Incy Hoovian. Doctor Who fan. I approve. I approve. I did not notice that. I'm sorry for being so rough. We got time. One more, I think. One more. But to say, our commenter was right. This deck is really fun. I don't know if it'd be the same build, right? Like, because that's the beautiful thing about Historic Brawl, and especially Historic Brawl when you're working with a couple different colors, right? That you can just play anything that you want. And I don't know, it's a shame that we don't have more Seek cards. Like, we have a couple, but they're just not... Hey, there's one. Choice of Fortune. Part of the reason why my card advantage is slightly worse than usual is because the Seek cards, they're not bad by any stretch of the imagination, right? Like, they're decent cards, but they're not going to beat out a Guardian Project as far as card advantage goes. Or a Great Henge. I'd like to see one of them do it, though. Because one of the few things that keeps Historic Brawl different from Commander is that we have access to cards that, under normal circumstances, wouldn't be a thing, right? Like, Seek is a mechanic that just wouldn't really work in paper. Because the way it works is that you put one random card from your library in your hand. How would you randomize that, right? Like, technically drawing a card is that, but what Seek means is that you can draw a card from anywhere in your deck at any point, right? And that's harder to pull off in real life. So I think, while I'm not an alchemy stand, do I want these cards? Yeah, I'll try two more. We're looking for a Wrath, honestly. Telisara Moondancer has already gone too far. She needs to be dealt with pretty quickly. We're just gonna die. Parallel Lives? So this will get me a Golem next turn. That's kind of cool. 2 Golems, actually. Because we're just that good. Yeah, sadly, because I was going for so much synergy pieces, my Mana Rock package for this deck is a little bit lacking. And as a result, like, we're not going to fast game anybody, right? Like, there's no turn 3 into double Mana Rock, turn 4 into God, what is it called? We've made some golems. Oh, I should have waited and got my commander out. Then I would have made more golems. Well, no, yeah, turn 3 was definitely a punt. Because I played Choice of Fortunes. I do like Seek. It's really cool, but you should really use it with the abilities that you have, right? Get the most maximum value. I take back everything I said about you, Seek. You were in the right and I was in the wrong. I think we got moon danced. We got moon danced hard. Might as well. GG, opponent. 2 damage for 2 life. Could have been worth it. Could have been. Vex, you're cool. I hope you get more Seek so that your ability does things. You know, maybe there's more Seek than I'm giving it credit for, because I was kind of... I know there are a couple of Seek cards that are attached to creatures, and I didn't want to pollute the deck with non-golems as much as possible. Like, if you were head and shoulders above the curve, you made it in the deck despite the fact that you weren't a golem. But I don't know. I didn't want to test it. We might have to do another version of him. Generally, when I do another version of cards, it's because either I enjoyed the deck or it lost horribly. And that means I probably built it wrong. But this time, you know, I enjoyed Vex. I think we'll do another version of him at some point in the future. Probably the near future, but I don't know. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.